Vitamin D deficiency is very common. Now, according to a study from 2011, about 40% of adults in the US are deficient. And it's also estimated that about 1 billion people worldwide have low levels of vitamin D in their blood. The big problem is that unlike other vitamins, vitamin D actually functions like a hormone in the body. Every cell in our body has a receptor for vitamin D, which is why it can have such profound effects on several different systems in the body. In this video, I'm looking at 5 of the biggest symptoms of vitamin D deficiency, and they are always overlooked. Number 1 is excessive fatigue and tiredness. Now, feeling excessively tired can have so many different causes, but vitamin D deficiency is a common one. Case studies have shown that very low vitamin D levels can cause fatigue that has severe negative effects on quality of life. In this case, a woman who complained of chronic daytime fatigue and headache was found to have blood levels of only 5.9 nanograms per milliliter of vitamin D. Now, anything under 20 nanograms per milliliter is considered to be deficient. After taking a vitamin D supplement, her level increased to 39 nanograms per milliliter, and her symptoms resolved within a matter of weeks. And in this large observational study, women with blood levels under 20 nanograms per milliliter were more likely to complain of fatigue than those with blood levels over 30 nanograms per milliliter. Another observational study of female nurses also found a strong connection between low vitamin D levels and self-reported fatigue. Interestingly, the researchers found that 89% of the nurses were vitamin D deficient. So if you're a nurse, definitely check your vitamin D status. Number 2, getting sick really often. One of vitamin D's most important roles is helping to keep your immune system strong so that you can fight off viruses and bacteria that can cause illness. Vitamin D directly interacts with the cells that are responsible for fighting infection. If you become sick often, especially with colds or the flu, low vitamin D levels may be a contributing factor. Several large observational studies have shown a link between a deficiency and respiratory tract infections like colds, bronchitis, and pneumonia. It seems that dosages of up to 4,000 international units daily may reduce the risk of respiratory tract infections as well. So if you get sick often, I would definitely be looking into that. Number 3, bone and back pain could also be symptoms of vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is involved in maintaining bone health through a number of mechanisms. Now, one of the main ones is that it helps your body absorb and hold on to calcium. It makes sense then that bone pain and back pain could be related to vitamin D status. One study examined the association between vitamin D levels and back pain in more than 9,000 older women. Now, the researchers found that those with a deficiency were more likely to have back pain, including severe back pain that limited their daily activities. Now, in a controlled study, people with vitamin D deficiency were nearly twice as likely to experience bone pain in their legs, ribs, or joints compared to those with blood levels in the normal range. Number 4, muscle pain. Following on from bone pain, it appears that our muscles may also feel the effects, although this one is much more difficult to pinpoint. In one study, 71% of people with chronic pain were found to be deficient. Now, the theory is based on the fact that vitamin D receptors are present in certain nerve cells which sense pain. A study in rats showed that a deficiency in vitamin D led to pain and sensitivity due to stimulation of these particular nerve cells in muscles. Subsequently, a few studies have found that taking high-dose vitamin D supplements may reduce various types of pain in people who are deficient. This study in 120 children with vitamin D deficiency who had growing pains found that a single dose of vitamin D reduced pain scores by an average of 57%. Number 5, depression. Many experts believe that depression, in many instances, can be a sign of vitamin D deficiency, particularly in older adults. In one analysis, 65% of the observational studies found a relationship between low vitamin D levels and depression. Now, that's 65% is not that great a number. Likewise, some controlled studies, which carry more scientific weight than the observational studies, have shown it's beneficial, but some didn't find a link between the two. Researchers who analysed the current evidence noted that the dosages of vitamin D in controlled studies were often very low and may not have lasted long enough to see the supplement effects. So the effects on mental health is also a tricky one to assess, but it's definitely an area that most agree vitamin D supplementation is useful. As you can see, the suspected symptoms are pretty non-specific, but vitamin D deficiency is incredibly common. So if you do suspect something might be up, you should definitely go and see your doctor and get it checked out. Fortunately, vitamin D deficiency is very easy to fix. You just have to take a long, sunny holiday very often. But if that is not an option, you can also just take a supplement. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the Authority Nutrition YouTube channel, make sure to click that big red button below the video so you can get notified when all our new videos get published.